Almond Railway. Oh, you're cutting in and out, by the way, 1x small. Yeah.
I hear him pretty good.
Hey, what's going on? No, she's got a fucking rat cord in the mouth.
I like this one too.
Coming in as an engineer for the DMR. No stingers. No stingers or IGLAs, so bring in a soul flam if you can. That's the rules.
Right. Special Ops Forces lives in there.
I'm an engineer right now with the law. I got the law.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, the stinger and the IGLA we can't use.
Yeah, but if you had a soul slam and I have a law, we're good, dude. No, hey, but get a soul slam, mark him out, and I'll use my law, lock on, and fuck him up. Oh shit, dang.
Roger that.
Damn him!
Chopper coming down on here. You see that chopper, Mike?
Oh, there it is.
I do it. I can, but you'd have to come all the way over here to Africa.
That's coming. Put up on your foot. Coming up on him.
Although these crew members did get out, this could have been the last few seconds in the lives of an F-4 crew. Moments before they were faced with the most critical decision, when to eject from their out-of-control aircraft. A delay in making this decision, for whatever reason, may well have cost them the opportunity to make a successful escape, and added 2 more statistics to the ever-growing number of Air Force aircraft fatalities. Fatalities that shouldn't, but continue to happen. Since the first aircraft ejection in August 1949, there have been 4,600 air crewmen who have punched out. Of these, if we concentrate on the ejection survival rate for the last 5 years, we see a less optimistic picture. Here, the survival rate average drops to 75%. Accident analysis reveals that the majority of these fatalities were not due to mechanical problems, failure of the egress system, or improper parachute landing technique. Rather, they were the direct result of delayed ejection. The Air Force Inspection and Safety Center is well aware of this problem.
During the past several years, we at the Air Force Inspection and Safety Center have noted a gradual but steady increase in our ejection fatalities. This has been in spite of the fact that we're making constant improvements to our systems. Single motion initiation, rocket catapults, automatic opening lap belts, ballistic powered inertia reels, seat man separators, seat stabilization devices, force deployed parachutes, and automatically deployed survival kits are just some of the improvements which were designed to facilitate crew members' escape. Some of our newer aircraft, such as the A-10, the F-15, and the F-16, are equipped with the new ACES II ejection seats that even surpass our other highly refined escape systems.
There is some evidence that tends to suggest that many air crew members interpret escape system improvements as being additional time to overcome an emergency. This, of course, is not why escape systems are improved. They are improved to give crew members a better chance to escape. Yet, in spite of the many safety improvements, escape technology is still having a hard time keeping pace with the demands placed upon it by improved aircraft performance, more complex missions, and more low-level flying now required in the current training environment. There must be time for the ejection sequence to fully operate prior to ground impact. Therefore, delaying the decision to leave the out-of-control aircraft is and has been the single most critical factor in determining the success or failure of in-flight escape. This is borne out by the high fatality rate in escape attempts outside the performance envelope of the system, at low altitudes, particularly below 500 feet.
No matter how good the escape system, you've got to give it time to work. As flight surgeon at the Safety Center, I reviewed many accident reports involving the delayed ejection, and he always illustrated at least 2 points. One, these seats require a finite amount of time to work. For example, depending upon the airspeed, the rear seat out of the F4 requires 4 or 5 seconds from initiation to full parachute, and the front seat takes a second longer. And second, these systems were not designed to overcome the horrendous sink rates generated by aircraft out of control, which may exceed 600 feet per second. There's a good reason for those mandatory bailout altitudes. You just don't have much time. Not long ago, an F4 crew was defending during a similar combat tactics engagement, and while pressing to defeat his attacker, the young pilot departed his aircraft at roughly 8,000 to 9,000 feet AGL above an overcast. Now, he had a reputation as being an aggressive, up-and-coming good stick, and he tried hard to salvage his mistake, but apparently he got a secondary stall to avoid going into the overcast, and in they went. While passing through the overcast, perhaps they became disoriented. We'll never know for sure. But one thing for certain is that both he and his Wizzo lost awareness for how fast that aircraft was really coming down. We have indications that aircraft dropped the 8,000 or 9,000 feet in less than 16 seconds and possibly as little as 11 seconds for an average sink rate of between 500 and 700 feet per second. When it passed through 4,000 feet AGL, still unrecovered, it was going to crash and was fuel to stay with it. But when the aircraft broke through the bottom of that 1,500-foot overcast, with them still aboard, they were both dead men. The Wizzo did initiate a dual-sequenced ejection at something around 1,000 AGL, but barely achieved man-feet separation when he hit the ground. Amazingly, though the impact broke his thigh, that's not what killed him. He burned to death in the fireball.
Making the ejection decision in a wartime environment does not seem to be a problem. We know from our experience in Southeast Asia that there was little reluctance for crew members to go out of a battle-damaged aircraft. Their decisions were made quickly, almost automatically, without hesitation. As a result, there was a 95% survival rate. Yet in peacetime, the decision to eject from a disabled aircraft is not always an easy one to make. In-depth analysis of aircraft accidents reveals that a number of psychological factors may be deeply involved in the decision. One expert with insight into this very complex problem is Mr. Rudy Delgado, Egress Systems Safety Manager at the Air Force Inspection and Safety Center.
These are some of the other recorded reasons for delaying the ejection decision. Besides this, we think there's other things such as stigma, ego involvement, peer pressure, and command emphasis that tend to argue against a timely escape decision. However, in my opinion, the single most important element in delayed ejection is lack of situation awareness. That is, the pilot becoming so engrossed in trying to overcome his problem that he loses awareness of the overall situation, such as altitude above the ground, the recovery envelope of the aircraft, or the safe escape envelope. This usually results in a late ejection attempt or no ejection attempt at all.
Situation awareness played an important role in a number of recent successful ejections. One, over the Nevada desert in late 1980, started out as a routine F4G training exercise.
I'm Lieutenant Colonel Roger Ayers, stationed at George Air Force Base. Fly the F4G Weasel. On 17th of December, we were up at Tonopah Electronic Warfare Range as I completed a strike shot on one of the emitters up there. Got a blink of master caution light. Started to climb out, and the entire caution panel had failed. As I checked the utility hydraulic pressure, it was down to 0. All other engine instruments read normally. Climbed up, leveled off about 13,000 feet and 350 knots. By this time had lost PC1, PC2, hand utility, the aircraft started an uncommanded roll to the left. This time made a radio call that we were ejecting, and followed that by ordering the Evo to eject at that time. Watched him go through the mirror, and as soon as he cleared the aircraft, about 45 degrees of bank, I initiated ejection. Took until we were approximately about 130 degrees of bank, maybe 40 degrees nose low by the time my ejection seat fired. While the entire process took about 45 seconds from the first blink of a master caution light to ejection, the decision to eject probably was made back in pilot training. The aircraft was uncontrollable. I had no flight controls and no hope for recovery of the aircraft. If I had it to do over again, while I assumed a good position overall for ejection, I did not let go of the stick and did not pull the handle with both hands, and subsequently my right shoulder was broken during the ejection process.
Objective Delta is now gone.